The narrative of the Nigerian maritime industry is beginning to shift. From the years of endlessly reporting attacks in our waters, dealing with matters of piracy and sea robbery, we are gradually, with a significant improvement in maritime security, beginning to move our attention to where the money is, where the maritime possibilities in terms of livelihoods, job opportunities, improvement and sustainability of our marine environment, and of course, harnessing all of the resources around our waters, on our waters, inside and beneath our waters, known popularly as the blue economy. And NIMASA, bearing responsibility by law for the promotion and regulation of all things maritime, cannot but be at the forefront, providing direction and, of course, inspiration to galvanize the entire nation. Hello and welcome. It's your favorite nautical authoritative, NIMASA This Week, the voice of maritime. Brought to you as always by the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency. My name is Ubongisien, and it's always a pleasure to be your guide on this voyage.
My name is Chief Dr. George Moralo.
Senator Binta Masi Garba.
Is Rollins McFoy, the President of Women in Maritime Nigeria.
You are watching NIMASA This Week.
You are watching NIMASA This Week.
NIMASA This Week, the voice of maritime.
The voice of maritime.
The voice of the maritime industry.
The voice of the maritime.
NIMASA This Week, the voice of maritime, showing on these stations.
Welcome back. It's still NIMASA This Week, the voice of maritime. And yes, the conversation around the blue economy has continued to gain a lot of steam, a lot of interest, and a lot of momentum. And why not? With Nigeria having over 853 kilometers coastal stretch from Badagry in Lagos to Bakassi near Cross River. In addition, of course, to our almost 8,600 kilometers of internal waterways, our rivers, our streams, our lakes, all combining to provide us with tremendous opportunities. Definitely, the blue economy is the way to go. So on today's episode of the program, we'll give you some trivia about the blue economy. However, our highlight for today will be the visit of the Norwegian Foreign Affairs Minister with her delegation from Norway to NIMASA. It will interest you to know why such a high-ranking cabinet official from the 5th largest shipping nation on earth, talking about Norway, would take interest in visiting NIMASA and engaging the agency on a bilateral basis. You get to find out this on the DG's diary as well as our other regulars. So if you're ready, it's anchors away.
Introducing the NIMASA Distress Response Call Lines for all maritime stakeholders, ship owners, seafarers, ship captains. Whatever your challenge or distress in the Nigerian maritime domain, please call 0803 0685 167, 0708 0005 956, 0700 0700 010. If you can't reach us on these lines, please call 0700 0700 020, 0700 0700 030. Also via VHF Radio Channel 16. Call and NIMASA will respond. The Norwegian government has commended Nigeria for its leading role in ensuring safety and security in the Gulf of Guinea. Norway's Foreign Affairs Minister, Her Excellency Anniken Huitfeldt, made this known during a courtesy visit to the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, NIMASA, on a recent bilateral mission. Huitfeldt and her team toured the Command, Control, Computer, Communication and Information Center, also known as the C4I Center of the Deep Blue Project, the Regional Global Maritime Distress and Safety System, and the Marine Environment Management Laboratory located at the agency's operational office in Kirikiri, Lagos. The Norwegian Foreign Affairs Minister, who was accompanied on the visit by the Norwegian Ambassador to Nigeria, Mr. Nuet Lien, and other government officials from Norway, including business owners, said she was in Nigeria to discuss the many common interests between Norway and Nigeria, particularly in the maritime sector.
I have been able to visit NIMASA, and I would like to thank you and the Nigerian government for your dedication to secure the waters of West Africa, because you're certainly in the forefront here in West Africa. So I'm deeply impressed by what I have been seeing here today, because the safety and the well-being for seafarers and ferries and ships, including in the Gulf of Guinea, is highly prioritized by the Norwegian government. So Nigeria is a very important partner for Norway, and I'm here to learn more.
Lin commended the DG of the NIMASA, Dr. Bashir Jamo, for his efforts in reducing piracy in the Gulf of Guinea, adding that Nigeria is a leading maritime country in Africa. Speaking at the occasion, the Director General of the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, NIMASA, Dr. Bashir Jamo, assured the Norwegian delegation that the agency, in collaboration with other organs of government, particularly the Nigerian Navy, would deepen regional collaboration to sustain the momentum of improved security in the region.
The Nigerian Navy, who are in the Western Naval Command, in trying to assist us to see that we achieve what we achieve in terms of maritime security. With the signing into SFOMO Act into law, we made a number of arrests. That is what is on the right-hand side. Some of them now, they are serving jail terms ranging from 7 to 10 years jail terms, which is sending serious signals to these criminals to ensure that we are not playing and we are not sleeping. We will ensure that everything that we do. We will continue to also educate our own judiciary to understand the terminologies of our own maritime domain awareness and what they do, what we do, what the international law says. So this is one of the collaborations that we used to do with the judiciary to deliver maritime security in Nigeria. And we call that particular, interchange Nigerian Administrative Law Colloquium. We do it annually, where we assemble the lawyers, the judges, and we introduce happenings within the maritime industry so that they can have a knowledge of what we have.
Dr. Jamo also noted that the soon-to-be disbursed Cabotage Vessel Financing Funds, CVFF, would serve as a catalyst for shipping development in the country.
The agency observed that the shipping is critical as global trade, yet it is the most vulnerable in terms of safety. This explains the reason of International Maritime Organization adopted the Safety of Life at Sea SOLAS conventions to ensure the safety of those involved. Consequently, it empowered by the enabling legislation, NIMASA take this critical aspect of its job to ensure safety of ships and those on board through proper enforcement of maritime safety conventions. And in so doing, we look at the safety of navigation. We are now removing wrecks in all our territorial waters all over Nigeria. I think we reach up to 50% now. Under the shipping development, we look at the critical aspect concerning the shipping, which encompasses fleet expansion, which very soon, maybe in the next couple of weeks, we will start disbursement of the CVFF, Cabotage Vessel Financing Fund, for the ship owners to own ship and build ship. I think this is one of the areas where Norway will come in terms of getting the shares of ships that we are going to build abroad, and the ship repairs also. The ship repairs industries has been in a very, very minimal. So we need to boost the ship repairs industry, and I'm glad to inform you, Your Excellency, from the explanation given at the CPOI Center, we have over and above 110 vessels coming to Nigeria. 110,000 vessels coming to Nigeria per annum. Where do they dock? Whether do they repair such ships? Because of lack of ship repairs industry, some of the ship owners have to move their ships to Togo, Benin Republic, Ghana, sometimes up to Turkey to repair their ship. So there is huge demand of the ship repair industry. Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency welcome partnership, public-private partnership in terms of building of ship repairs and shipbuilding industry. And Nigerian leadership role in formation of the Maritime Collaboration Forum, that is Gulf of Guinea's forum, in order to ensure that we secure the maritime domain. We have shared Gulf of Guinea, which is collaborations of countries, number of countries, which include United States and France, UK, Denmark, and I think Norway, they are also part of that. So we call it Shape Gulf of Guinea Forum. In terms of fleet expansion, the Nigerian government tried to save a number of amount of money, which we call it Cabotage Vessel Financing Fund, so that we can grant loans to the ship owners to acquire ships. This money is up to about $360 million as at a couple of months ago, and that is the 50% contribution from government. We expect 35% from the primary lending institution, that is banks. We expect also 15% from the ship owners. When you add the two together, it's going to be about $720 million. This is an area of investment that Norway can look at what type and how much the Norway can be able to grab in terms of shipbuilding and ship acquisitions as far as the fleet expansion is concerned.
The NIMASA boss revealed that in order to further extend the security architecture for protection of the coastal waters and the region from maritime thefts and piracy, as well as strengthen enforcement regime, the agency has acquired 7 new boats, which it intends to launch next month.
Hello, it's the Know Your Convention segment on NIMASA This Week, the voice of maritime. And I am Olabisi George. Today, we'll be speaking on the International Convention on Standards of Training, Certification, and Watchkeeping for Seafarers. I have here with me today 2 industry stakeholders, very important persons. Mrs. Jean Chiazo, the principal partner of Jean Chiazo and Partners. You're welcome to this segment, Ma.
Thank you very much.
And also Captain Taiwo Akinpelumi, Marine Navigator, MD, CEO, Oceanic Energy Limited. You're welcome to the segment, sir.
Thank you very much, DC.
So on today's segment, as I mentioned earlier, we'll be speaking on the International Convention on Standards of Training, Certification, and Watchkeeping for Seafarers. I'll start with the Leonard Silk. Ma, do you want to give us an overview of what the convention is about, please?
Yes, thank you very much for having me. The STCW, as is known, that's an acronym for the Standard for Training and Certification, Watchkeeping of Seafarers. was actually enacted or implemented in 1978. That stands for Standards of Training, Certification and Watchkeeping of Seafarers. Now, by way of introduction, it's important for us to note that shipping stands on 4 pillars, namely the International Convention for Safety of Life at Sea, otherwise known as SOLAS, and we have what we're discussing today, the STCW, International Convention on Standards of Training, Certification and Watchkeeping of Seafarers. We also have the International Convention for the Prevention of Pollution from Ships, which is the MAPOL Convention, and the MCL Convention, which is the Maritime Labour Convention of 2006. All these 4 conventions, international conventions, they are the pillars that regulate the shipping industry. Thank you.
Thank you. Just a quick question again. This International Convention for Standard of Training for Seafarers, does it apply in Nigeria?
Oh yes, of course. It's international convention and Nigeria is part of the world.
So Captain Taiwo, do you want to tell us what this training, these standards and certification is about? A practical view of how it works on sea.
Thank you very much, BC. Just like the learned Sikh already actually gave us the background. Shipping is international in nature, and over time you see that any incident at sea is usually traceable to human factor, either through fatigue or standard of their competency. So what the convention has done is, one, to harmonize the standard of training globally, and secondly, to bring minimum standard required. The most important thing is about regulating the minimum standard of competency that a seafarer has to attain in order to work on board a ship.
You've mentioned minimum standards. Mark, can you give us an idea of what these minimum standards are as is provided in the convention?
The convention since inception, 1978, has suffered a lot of amendments. We've had an amendment in 1998, and then there's a Manila Amendment, which is 2010. Right, so these amendments have taken care of the evolution of the industry and environment. This time around, environment had come to play. We also know that the world has gone e-commerce, so technology is also very key. Therefore, these minimum standards and conventions are meant to be amended regularly to take care of the evolution of the society. And that's why the Manila Amendment of 2010, which is implemented in 2012, it's what is pertinent at the moment, is to take care of seafarers who man tankers, for example. You know, what is also to take care of their health. You know, if you have signed on to the convention, it's important to know that it's not automatic. You must have signed on to the convention. Your government must have ratified the convention. So what is applicable is that when your seafarer on board your vessel gets and has been certified medically okay or medically fit in your country, and the ship sails to another port, it's not necessary for the government in the other seaport to request for another medical fitness certificate.
Okay,
so that's the uniformity that we're talking about. It reduces the stress of having to check for another or request for another standard or requirement before the seafarers can be allowed.
Okay, so one of the rules or provision in the convention is that the seafarers are medically certified.
Yes,
to be fit.
Very important.
Okay, so aside medical certification, any other thing?
Qualification, skills that you have acquired, that you have the skill to protect the vessel in the event of an attack from pirates. That's also very important under the Manila Amendment, the 2010 STCW Convention.
So viewers, this is as much as we can take on today's segment. Until next time when we bring you the concluding part, please stay tuned as NIMASA This Week, the voice of maritime, continues.
Front of the building, a 3-classroom building that was built by NIMASA under the able leadership of Dr. Bashir Jamo. We have come here to inspect the level of work and to interact with the students. The job has been completed. It's a fine edifice. The school, the principal, the chair still want some other things to be added to them. We have the principal of the school, Mr. Obitayo. Mr. Obitayo, what do you have to say about this project?
It's at the right time. And we are universities, we are still asking for more. But it has placed us in a very good position as far as external exams are concerned.
First and foremost, I want to appreciate NIMASA for giving us this gigantic hall. First of its kind.
We used to use it for orientations, PTA meetings.
Thank you, NIMASA.
Thank you, NIMASA. Thank you, Dr. Bashir Jamo. God bless Nigeria.
Welcome back. It's still NIMASA This Week, the voice of maritime. It's now time to go online to check out on some of those trending maritime-related conversations. So be sure to follow the DGEEs on Twitter at Jamo Bashir, as well as at NIMASA Official. We are on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, as well as on LinkedIn. However, when it comes to doing business, yes, we mean maritime business in Nigeria. Do remember that NIMASA is the nation's apex regulator when it comes to the rules governing our seas, our oceans, and our coastal activities, as well as all forms of shipping-related practices, whether you're talking about dealing with seafarers, dock workers, the entire gamut of what transpires within Nigeria's maritime domain. To avoid running foul of any of our laws, it's important that you make the NIMASA official website, currently scrolling on your screen, your first port of call. NIMASA is committed to driving Nigeria's blue economy through a number of policies and ongoing initiatives. NIMASA is finalizing the process for the disbursement of the Cabotage Vessel Financing Fund, known as the CVFF. This has lingered for almost 18 years. We are in the process of deploying the 5th largest modular floating dock in Africa to create employment for thousands of Nigerians. We are investing in skill acquisition across the 6 geopolitical zones, as well as helping thousands of young Nigerians develop capacity to practice as seafarers, while also doing our best to keep the navigational channels free of encumbrances through the removal of wrecks and working towards recycling such wrecks into useful metallic products as we work towards the setting up of our foundry. These and many more are a reflection of what Nigeria's emerging blue economy looks like. And so we invite you to come out of that sea blindness and join us on this collective quest of harnessing the wealth within our water. We hope you've enjoyed watching today's episode of the program. As we look forward to seeing you next time, my name remains Ubong Isen. As always, I'm asking you to stay on course. Bye-bye.